Okay, so we're going to start with the next part of the Congress. So we're going to try the impossible in a few moments. That's trying to make a group photo of all delegates on the stairs. And then afterwards, you will go to the respective work group sessions. Now, all of the sessions today are on the floor of the ground level floor, the Monterey level. It's two different rooms from yesterday, but they're all on that level. So you all have to go down, pass the reception on the left, and then go to the respective rooms as such. Now I will show which rooms for which groups. So the green group will go to room Guanajuato. Sorry for my pronunciation. That's where you will go until you go at 12:18. When you're finished, you will go to lunch, which will be the same place as yesterday. And after lunch, you will go to room Morelia. And then at 3 o'clock, our staff will bring you back to the room here, where we will then talk about the conclusions of the work groups, as well as start the more, I would say, awards part of the Congress. So green group, who is going with them this time? Green group is with Caroline? Okay, so Caroline will take the green group to room Guanajuato after the group picture. The blue group is going to room Veracruz, and after that to room Guerrero after lunch. And who is going with the blue group? Severin. The orange group will go to room Morelia, and then after lunch to room Guanajuato. And orange is with JK. And the pink group will go to room Guerrero, and after the lunch will go to room Veracruz. Is it clear for everyone where he has to go? And in case of questions, green Caroline, blue Severin, orange JK, and pink Jenny. Okay, before we all going to leave and try this impossible group picture, and I wish really the best of luck to Dean, because it's a mission impossible. I would like to give you two other informations. First of all, you have received this morning on your table the charger and the box of the tablets. So the tablets, you can take them with you. If you guarantee us that it will get to the one you have the proxy, then you can take it for the proxy. If you're not sure, you can give it to the one for which you have the proxy. Please give it back to us, and then we will see if there is a way we can get it to the ones that have a proxy. Is that clear to everyone? And the tablets were graciously offered by Samsung Turkey, so we thank them for this donation as such. And on there you have all the Congress documents. We will make available all the presentations and so of the session and of the work groups on our extranet as soon as we have the time to do it. Okay? So having said that, we will go outside of the room. I suggest that we organize ourselves by groups, so it's easier afterwards to go to the group locations. And the executive board will go on the front row, and then everyone else further back. Okay? So good luck to Dean, and look nice on the picture.
Group photo first. Very simple.
So group photo first on the stairs. So go to the outside, the stairs, and then afterwards you go to the work group sessions. Championship report we're going to get is, we we will have the World Archery Indoor Championships 2018, and also the organizer of the World Field Archery Championships 2020. Are we ready for that? Okay, so it seems, Bruce, you can take your time to walk because they are preparing the presentations. While you're walking and while they're preparing, just some feedback on some of the events that took place just before here. You saw the videos of Robillon and of Rosario. Robillon, the finals were in a very exciting place in front of the Papal Palace in Avignon. And it was the biggest 3D championship we've ever had. So it was quite good to see the progress in number of countries attending. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, 4 out of the 5 continents present. For what concerns Rosario, we had 68 countries, 24 won quota places for Buenos Aires from 4 continents. We were close to have Namibia won for Africa, but they will have to wait till next year at the African Youth Games. And we would like to thank Stanislaw, he's not in the room yet, but we would like to thank the Argentinian Federation for doing the impossible, since, as you probably all know, we had a tornado that destroyed all of the tents and a lot of the technical equipment the day before we started the competition. Okay, so we seem to be ready. So we invite on the stage Bruce Cull, who is the organizing committee chair of the Indoor World Cup Championships, and also, of course, president of the Vega Shoot. Bruce, you have the floor.
It's time for a journey to where the mountains move you. Your American journey begins here.
Great places, South Dakota.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to be up here. President Erdner, Secretary Dielan, Executive Board, and delegates and friends in archery. It's a privilege to be here and to be hosting the 2018 World Indoor Championship. We're very excited about this. As you could see a little video on South Dakota there first, you could see some of what we have to offer. The actual event is going to be held February 14th through the 19th. The venue is the NFA Easton Yankton Archery Center in South Dakota. The location, of course, is Yankton, South Dakota, and the host is the NFAA Foundation. Yankton is a nice city, very small, unlike what some of you are used to, of about 20,000 people. It's a very small area in the Midwest. Of course, you saw Mount Rushmore, so you can see where it is geographically. It's a very quite historical little town along the Lewis and Clark Lake, which is very historic in the Midwest of the U.S. We have a beautiful lake area. We've got 4 seasons in South Dakota. Most of the video that you saw was in the summer, of course. The winter can be a little bit colder. We have snowmobiling. We have several different sports such as that. The one unique thing we have in South Dakota, we have a bridge, as you can see in this slide, that's the longest pedestrian bridge in the United States. It's a double-decker bridge that was built years and years ago that has been turned into a pedestrian bridge that connects South Dakota and Nebraska. I'll go through the next slide very quickly. There's our average temperatures. During this time period, you can expect almost anything. This last year, during that time period of the World Indoor Championship, The average temperature was about 60 degrees, which was much warmer, but it can be very cold also. But it's an indoor tournament, so we're not too concerned about that. Who we are, the NFA Foundation. The NFA Foundation is a public charitable organization that supports the NFAA and all forms of archery in the promotion of our sport. We've got several things in our facility. We've got a museum, we run scholarship programs, and you can see the different items that we do there. We run the NFA Center, which you've got a brochure that's been handed out to everybody that you can look through on the actual facility, our complex, and what it entails. Our biggest claim to fame is probably the Vegas shoot, which this year we're hoping to have 4,000 archers participate. It's also the final leg of the World Cup Indoor that takes place on Saturday night. And we've had several years of great participation worldwide. And the Vegas shoot is something this year that people could attend and go on to the World Indoor that I'll get to a little bit later. There's just some pictures of the different events. We hosted the Youth World 2015 Championship. Once again, one thing I'll say, being in a small community, what you really realize is how many people are there that appreciate you being there. As the best example I can give you, we had almost 900 volunteers from the local community for that event. We're, as Juan Carlos and I get to talk all the time, and Mr. Easton, our facility is the largest in the world, and that's simply because of a few things, and the biggest one being our actual disciplines of archery that we have. We've got 140 acres is our actual property. We've got a 90-meter indoor range. We've got 2 Olympic feeder fields. We've got 3 28-target field ranges, and we have several 3D ranges. We also have adjacent to our property camping facilities and recreational facilities. 2 hotels are within walking distance right across the street, so it makes a great system and a great place for people to come and enjoy all the different disciplines in archery. There's an overall layout of the facility. You can see the Olympic feeder fields, all the field ranges. We actually have a fishing lake on our property. It's a beautiful piece of property. And also, I guess I'll be back here in a year or two to give you an overview of this for the World Field Championships, which we were awarded the bid for 2020. We've just done an expansion primarily for this World Indoor Championship. Our facility right now has 30,000 square feet of archery range, and we've just added on, or in the process of adding, another 25,000 square feet to make it 55,000 square feet of dedicated archery, and I think that converts to like 5,500 meters. So it's a very large facility. In 2008 is when we started our project. This was started in partnership with the Easton Foundations, and it was one of their first facilities that was built in the U.S. We had just an 18-meter range, and that was all it was to start with. In 2011, we expanded, adding enough for our 90-meter range to the existing range, and then currently right now we're doing the expansion on the big facility, which is another, I guess right there it is, 5,000 square meters is the total facility. You can see the facility expansion there. That's just a diagram and layout of our entire facility. The existing one you can see is all the lighter colored, and in red is the new facility, which is clear span, 25,000 square feet. And hopefully, and we're on schedule, it'll be done here in the next 60 days. For the actual tournament transportation, we will have charter buses and our usual United States school buses to run people from hotels to the facility, and the charters will run from the airport, which is Sioux Falls, the FSD code. We have all sorts of local transportation that we're going to have available this year. The one thing that we're adding is in the evenings, we're going to allow everybody to eat in the community at a host of restaurants. We're going to have the lunch meal, the noon meal at the facility, like most tournaments, but in the evening, we're going to let people choose, and we will take them and transport them to the different restaurants. You can see there's a map of the city of Yankton and the hotel, the accommodations. In South Dakota, we speak of everything in minutes, not miles, because it's so close. All the hotels, all the lodging facilities are within basically 15 minutes of the venue. Very close proximity, and you can see right there the list of them. The invitation packets, of course, have been sent out and they're online, so you can refer to those and the different hotels that are available. This is probably one of the biggest things that I want to stress, is that this year your archers have the ability to do 3 tournaments at one time. The Vegas shoot and the World Cup final are held just 2 days before the World Indoor Championship. So one thing that we are there to help with when whoever's making the reservations, it's very easy. There's direct flights from Vegas to Sioux Falls. You can stay a day in Vegas and have people sightsee in Vegas, and then you can come to South Dakota. But the ability to do all 3 will never be any less expensive than once you're in the U.S. That's a great thing to be able to do that and to attend all of them. A little bit about the Vegas shoot there. As I mentioned, it's it's the 4th leg or the final for the World Cup Indoor. We've been really excited working with World Archery on that and growing that. This year we expect, like I said, around 4,000 participants. We pay out $500,000 in prize money to the professionals and all the amateur divisions as well. Once again, there's the date for the World Cup, and then the Indoor Championships in Yankton. Once again, we're willing to assist and help in any way we can to get all the accommodations and everything lined up to assist you in the best way that we can. Okay, at this time, I would open it up for any questions, if anybody has questions about venue or the Indoor Championship.
So, are there any questions? I have one, but actually 2, Bruce. Anyone has a question? No, doesn't seem to be the case. Well, I think most people know Yankton from the Youth World Championships some years ago, which were very successful and were very much appreciated by the young archers. So, as you know, these Indoor Championships is both senior and junior event. One big request, it's not a question to Bruce, but one big request to all of you. The ones that do need visas, start with it as soon as you get back home from here. Invitation package is on our website. It's in ours is open as far as I know. Preliminary entries are open. Please, please, for the ones that need visas, start now. We know there are certain countries that could be more complicated. I know there is at the moment an issue with the country of my president and the United States of America. We will see in which way we can resolve it. I'm sure I will call Mr. Trump tomorrow and say, take the phone and call Mr. Erdogan and get your problem solved, because we have a World Archery Indoor Championship in Yankton. And I'm sure Mr. Trump will admittedly say, yes, Tom, we will do that. But actually, if I can't do it, Bruce can do it.
Yeah, we'll help in any way we can. Feel free to contact us on the website. and we will do everything in our power to get everybody there.
But all jokes apart, if you need a visa for the United States, yes, we can help. We are always in relation with the United States Olympic Committee. They have a program to help, but don't wait until the 1st of February to ask for a visa, because even with all the best goodwill, it will not work.
In any case, Bruce, our friend Bruce has very close friendship with President Trump. He can easily solve all the problems, isn't it?
We did make it happen last year, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Vegas?
Last year, we were able to do miracles, but miracles happen not all the time. Then, Bruce, a question to you. I suppose the transportation will only be provided from Sioux Falls. Is that correct?
That's correct. Transportation from Sioux Falls to Yankton is a little over an hour, and we'll have buses, of course, for all that transportation. Once again, the thing that you really want to consider if you're going to Vegas, which several people have contacted me, make sure you make your airline reservations to stay the day or two you want to in Vegas and then come to South Dakota. So you've got a day or two that you can, basically are travel days. The tournament ends on Sunday, and our first official practice day is Wednesday. So you've got 2 days to travel, and there's direct flights, and you just need to do that in advance, obviously.
Okay, and then the other remark, and I would like to thank Bruce because he came with the idea of doing the World Archery Indoor Championships, and it was already the biggest facility at that time. And Bruce said, well, probably we need a bigger facility, so let's just do it. And now for sure with the additional space, so if I saw the slides correctly, you will have a place for 190 lanes of 18 meters, which will make it, for a very long time, I'm sure, the biggest archery facility in the world. So congratulations already, and I hope that the construction finishes soon, and we wish you all the best of luck. Thank you, Bruce.
And we did make it big enough so that all the archers that come to Yankton can see a wild buffalo. So
Absolutely.
if you want to bring your archers and see buffalo, remember we had them in 2015, we'll have buffalo and Native Americans. So thank you again. Hope to see you all in Vegas and in Yankton.
Thank you, Bruce. Then the next one, we're going to go to Europe, and we're going to hear about 2 championships, Para Archery World Championships and the World Archery Championships, which will be held in the Netherlands, in that order. And I give the floor to the Dutch delegation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, Mr. President, board members, member organizations. I'm deeply honored to stand here to present you the plans and ideas for the World Championships 2019. For the first time in the history of World Archery, we are combining the World Championships Para and the World Archery Championships like we have today, or this week here in Mexico. We do it in the beginning of June. The 3rd till 9 June, the World Championships Para, and from 10 till 16 of June, the World Championships like we have this week. Our mission is to make it a celebration of archery, a celebration for this great sport we have and we're all proud on. A celebration with a Congress to start with at the 1st and the 2nd of June 2019, and further then a week-long the World Archery Para Championships, followed by the World Archery Championships. And what we want to do is to make a combination we can be proud on. A combination of sports for everybody who wants to do archery. And the only thing we can handle it and to make it a success is with the organizing triangle. Of course, with the great crew of World Archery. Without them, there's no good working World Championships. And also the Dutch Federation. And I'm proud that I'm here as Secretary General of the Dutch Federation with more than 10,000 active members, more than 230 clubs all over the country, active in all kinds of disciplines of archery. And we have a very good local organization committee. 2 of them are here active. They're wearing an orange polo shirt. If you have any question, ask them. You can ask me as well, but they are here also to answer all your questions. And the organizing connection, that's the official name of the local organizing committee, they are specialists in organizing very good sport events. Para events, but also other sports events, in cycling and so on. The city of 's-Hertogenbosch, when you translate it, it's the Duke's Forest. Maybe that's easier to pronounce for you, but if everybody knows then in the Netherlands what you mean, I don't know. So you have 2 years to say 's-Hertogenbosch. It's in the south of the country, and you can see on the screen there are a lot of airports close to 's-Hertogenbosch, and you can reach the city very easy with the public transport. 's-Hertogenbosch is a city. You see it on the screen. The photo on the left, that's a picture of the celebration of Welcome Home Olympic Team a few years ago. A big event in the city. It's a city of sports. It's a city that organized the start, le grand départ, of the Tour de France. And the World Championships Archery is the biggest event after the start of the Tour de France in 1996. It's time to celebrate a new World Championships, the World Championships Archery. Den Bosch is a city of 150,000 inhabitants. It's bigger than Yankton, but it's not that big. It's cozy, hospitality, culture. That's what we think, what we said about 's-Hertogenbosch. Nice restaurants and a good atmosphere. And what's so good that we have venues, 3 venues, for the finals, the training sessions and the qualification, very close to the city center. From the training to the final venue, it's only 7 minutes walking. That's very good. It's very close to each other. The training venue is in the Zuiderpark. In the park, normally people are relaxing, just relaxing, having fun, playing rugby, other sports, having a lazy Sunday. But in June, it's active archery. The qualification, that will take place at the pitch of the Dukes, the rugby club in 's-Hertogenbosch. It's a very nice spot, very close to the city center, in between the training session area, Zuiderpark, and the finals venue. And the finals, and we are very proud that we can arrange it together with the city of 's-Hertogenbosch. The final venue is in the middle of the center, at the Parade Square. And the archers, they will see when they are when they're shooting the arrows, they see the St. John's Cathedral, a very famous cathedral, not only in the Netherlands, but people in Den Bosch, in the Netherlands, are very proud on. The square, and you can see it also on the screen, it's full with trees. So it's not a square where you can not feel the nature, it feels like with energy. The venues are connected by a corridor, a nice street where you can do whatever you want with archery. We are looking forward to work together with corporations who are active in archery, but also people who want to make people active to become an archer or to get to know more about archery. It's a promotional avenue. As I said before, the schedule, and again, first the Congress, then the World Championships for Para, finals on the venue you saw, close to the St. John's Cathedral, and furthermore, the World Championships in the last week. For accommodations, the local organization committee has different packages. And you can choose that. Of course, there's no package at the moment for you available, but it's 2 years, so there's much time left before we can present it to you. But one thing is sure, Wi-Fi and breakfast are included. And of course, the food, the dinners, etc., it's according to the guidelines of World Archery. The transportation, we will find it out, and I said to you, from the training zone to the final venue, it's very close, you can walk. But the transport is booked via the local organization committee. But when you, for example, fly to Amsterdam Airport, it's very easy to reach 's-Hertogenbosch by public transport. And the public transport, the trains are very good in the Netherlands, so you can use it. And what we arranged also with the city of Den Bosch, that very close to the venues, you can park your car, one car per team, per country, as a service to reach everything quite easy. In relation to Yankton, the Secretary General spoke about visa. And for the visa requirements, keep in touch with the local organization committee. Make it very clear how long you want to stay, what you're going to do, and the local organization committee can of course provide a letter to help you to get a good visa. The weather. The weather in the Netherlands, it's not a tropical atmosphere. Sometimes it is. It's very, very unpredictable. In June, last June, it was 30+ degrees, but normally it's around 20, 23. We never know how it's working, and also the climate change has effects on the Netherlands, so we will see, but normally it's 20, 23 degrees. We're very looking forward to see you in 's-Hertogenbosch to celebrate archery. To celebrate archery, when we're looking forward also in Den Bosch to the Olympic Games in Tokyo. It's the official qualification moment, with venues in the middle of the center of 's-Hertogenbosch. Get in touch with us, and you see on the screen Erik Kersten. You can meet him. He's the director of the Organizer Connection. You can meet him this weekend, next weekend. He will visit the finals of this World Championships. You can contact me. Follow us by Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Looking forward to the website, or send just an email. And as I said to you, Luc and Leah from the Organizer Connection are here at the moment, so you can ask them questions as well. I'm really looking forward to see you in Den Bosch. And first of all, if you have any question more, you can ask it right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any questions for our Dutch friend? Don't see any. I just would like to mention that the idea is also that we will have the finals venue built for the para, and then we will have it in place, of course, for the finals, as for the World Championships after. And we will see with the organizing committee how we can best use that facility in that period, because there is some ideas that have already been discussed, but we will see. But in each case, there will be a whole kinds of activities, not only archery, but also cultural activities taking place in the finals venue during that week to optimize that space, because, okay, having the two events, it is true that you are the first one to do para and then the other. We already done it the other way around. That was in Torino.
Absolutely,
but in this way, you're absolutely right, it's the first time. It is something that was requested by the bid committee. We have We were a little bit anxious on it because we think it's a challenge, but our Dutch friends like challenges.
Absolutely.
So we look forward to excellent championships.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you all in Congress before the Para Championships, because I think it will also be a fantastic opportunity for the promotion of para sport, that the Congress is just before the Para Championships. So for the ones that never saw para sport in archery, it will be a great occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And look forward to working for the next 2 years with you.
Thank you.
Then we go to the next presentation, which is an additional indoor World Cup that will be added to the series of World Cups, not for this indoor season, but for next indoor season. Since our Mexican friends from Movio Lab can't get enough of archery, we have them presenting the idea they have for an indoor World Cup, and we will listen to the presentation from Jesus Antonio Lopez Pinzon from Quintana Roo and Arno Dryard from Movio Lab.
Muy buenas tardes a todos y cada uno de los presentes de los países que hoy se encuentran. Y agradezco, por supuesto, la oportunidad a la Federación Internacional de Tiro con Arco y a su comité ejecutivo por la oportunidad de estar hoy aquí.
Hi to everyone. Bonjour à tous. Thank you so much for receiving us, International Federation and Executive Committee. It's an honor for us to be here. Mexico, as you can see on the slide, is a nation of archery. You've seen the results starting in London 2012, amazing results with 2 medals. You've seen the results in Argentina last week, very good youth team, and we believe we have to keep on growing. And keeping on growing is receiving major events in Mexico for the next years. Of course, we've had experience in the last years with Mexican Challenge 2013 and 2014 and the World Cup final in 2015, and we look forward to World Cup indoor for the next years. Let's speak about Quintana Roo.
Cancún, Quintana Roo, un estado del país de México, de los más jóvenes en la actualidad. Quintana Roo es un estado donde la propuesta de hacer el evento en el próximo año es un destino donde no tendremos ninguna circunstancia meteorológica que pueda afectar la realización del mismo.
Cancún, Quintana Roo is one of the youngest states in the country, and you can be confident that we will have no major issues in terms of climate during indoor seasons, since it's out of the hurricane season.
Cancún y la Riviera Maya son los destinos más visitados en México.
Cancún and Riviera Maya is the biggest destination for tourism in Mexico.
Actualmente cuentan con 3 terminales en el aeropuerto internacional y pronto se reaperturará una 4ª terminal aérea, misma que albergan alrededor de 20 millones de turistas durante el año.
Its airport is already receiving 20 million tourists a year, from then 15 million international. It has already 3 terminals and is under construction a 4th one.
Esta cifra inclusive es mayor a la que algunos países de Latinoamérica puedan recibir en turismo.
These figures, 20 million, is even more than most countries in Latin America total.
La ciudad de Cancún, Quintana Roo, tiene 88,000 habitaciones hoteleras, de las cuales cuenta con 14 hoteles de categoría diamante.
The city of Cancún, Quintana Roo has more than 80,000 hotel rooms, among them more than 14 diamond category hotels, plus numbers of 5 stars.
Contamos también con diversas actividades deportivas, con 17 campos de golf, 46 plazas comerciales y 34 parques temáticos.
Additionally to the hotel rooms, there are more than 16 golf courses, top class level, more than 40 malls, and of course, a lot of other attractions for tourists.
El destino como Quintana Roo tiene muchos atractivos que podemos explotar. Contamos con cenotes, zonas arqueológicas reconocidas a nivel mundial, como Tulum, como Cobá.
Part of the attraction are the cenotes, which are clean water, as you can see, underground water, where you can dive. Tulum and Cuba pyramids, culture of Quintana Roo being, of course, impressive.
Por supuesto que el estado de Quintana Roo es un estado rodeado de mar, de grandes atractivos naturales, donde tenemos la oportunidad de año con año tener la visita del famoso tiburón ballena.
And of course, water activities, diving is one of them, with the famous whale sharks coming every year to Mexico.
En la infraestructura hotelera, lo hemos comentado hace un momento, Quintana Roo es el estado de México con más habitaciones hoteleras y con gran infraestructura de lujo.
Quintana Roo is a state with the biggest hotel room capacities and capacities from everyone. I think it's important to mention that from diamond to low-class hotels, there's for everyone, so everyone will be welcome.
Quintana Roo se ha distinguido por albergar grandes eventos deportivos que hoy tienen años practicándose en Quintana Roo. Me refiero al Ironman que se desarrolla en la ciudad de Cozumel, al campeonato PGA de golf que se desarrolla en el complejo turístico de Mayacobá, eventos que tienen muchos años realizándose en Quintana Roo. Eso demuestra el interés por realizar esos tipos de eventos en el estado.
Quintana Roo has received for years international sports events such as Ironman Cozumel and PGA tournament, OHL Classic, and for the next year. It's a very safe state and stable state. And what we propose is an all-in world-class archery destination. Why all-in? Because athletes, if they don't want to, they will not have to move. Competition venue will be at a convention center of one of the big resorts from Quintana Roo. So the athletes will compete in the convention center, enjoy the hotel rooms, enjoy the beach and the parties, so that they have a great time. You know, we want to provide athletes first services for them to be happy and come back from Mexico with a great souvenir, but foremost, a great competition. Competition format, which will be co-decided with World Archery to make it attractive and quite unique for athletes, media, and global archery community. We know that indoor offers multiple opportunities to work on the format and to work on the TV production to make something spectacular. And of course, we do have a committed local organizing committee, as we do this week, and we hope you will all come back happy from this experience of the World Championship. We are very committed. We will match World Archery requirements. We will develop an attractive prize money for athletes to come from all over the world, affordable accommodation with good deals with the hotels for the participants, officials, and delegations. Transportation is very easy there. Hotels at 30 minutes from the airport, so nothing to worry about. So again, it's a world-class all-in venue, good field of play, comfortable field of play, operational areas, press and media areas, all you need to do a good job to promote archery. And important as well, we will have a massive archery promotion. That means a commitment for broadcast and TV in Mexico. As we do on the World Championship, it's going to be on different channels live. We will have live streaming, and being indoor allows us to do some good job with the lights. And we will do some engagement programs with local schools and archery clubs for them to grow. And Tonio, who's here, has sent, for example, different athletes from his state at the last Youth World Championship in Argentina. And one of his goals is to grow archery in his state as well as the country. The local organizing committee will have some rights, just as usual, and we are looking for a 3-year agreement, if not more, of course, if we do a good job.
Por supuesto, reciban el saludo del gobernador del estado de Quintana Roo, el contador público Carlos Manuel Joaquín González, y decirles y reiterarles que el gobierno del Quintana Roo está dispuesto a poder albergar las próximas 3 ediciones de esta Copa del Mundo. Esperemos que este comité ejecutivo y esta asamblea así lo decidan. Muchas gracias.
So in the name of the governor of Quintana Roo, there is a full commitment to develop this event the best way possible to promote archery, and we look forward to going forward in the process with World Archery. Thank you so much for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to be here, and most important, enjoy the week that is coming. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you. I don't know if there's any questions for our friends from Mexico. Don't see anyone. So we don't normally do a presentation of the World Archery Indoor Cups, but since we were in Mexico and our friends wanted to see if we could present, we allowed for it. And so we will be, as I said, for the next 3 years. So not this season, but then the season 18, 19, 19, 20, and so on. Work with the organizing committee, and I'm sure that you are all excited seeing those nice pictures, and we look forward to going there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, then I'm going to touch 2 further subjects before we go into the last coffee break. So the first point is the feedback on the 24-28 election process of the Olympic Games. I already mentioned in my report and also our president's report. So we look forward going to France in 2024. And I think that most of you are aware we will shoot in front of the Les Invalides, which is one of the most iconic venues in Paris. We will work with the French Archery Federation, the French Organizing Committee, to make sure that this will be a very successful event. One of the things that we discussed with the president of the French Federation, we went together to see the Organizing Committee, and we're working on a strategy to make sure that we use best those 7 years to further increase the appeal of our sport in France. And one of the specific topics will also be how to do much better in the para side of the sport, because the organizing committee said, well, yes, we will make Les Invalides available for both Olympics and Paralympics, but the Paralympic side needs to improve, so we'll work together with them to make sure that this will happen. Then for 2028, we are going to LA to a fantastic, iconic venue as well. The difference is between the one of Les Invalides. Les Invalides has been built quite some time ago. The iconic venue of LA is basically a big dump at the moment, sorry to say, but it is going to be the LA Rams NFL Stadium. I hope I don't say anything wrong, Mr. Wells. And it will be the venue. We will be just next to the stadium. So the stadium will be as a background, and the stadium will also be hosting the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. So I already...
on the water.
And we will shoot over the water, although, as I've said during my evaluation visit and also in my feedback to the IOC, when OBS is finished with looking at requirements, the Olympic Broadcasting Services, who doesn't like things like infinity images and reflection, I'm not sure how much water will be left. But for the moment, the idea is we will shoot over water, as we've done in many of our World Cup finals. So both projects look very nice and promising. 2 iconic venues, and we'll work with also US Archery and the team they put in place for the next 11 years to make sure it will be also a fantastic event as such. We had yesterday a short video on Buenos Aires, on the Youth Olympic Games. So our president, being the chair of the Youth Olympic Games Commission of the IOC, is very much involved with the Youth Olympic Games. And we look forward to having successful Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires. The Argentinian Federation has shown that good archery events can be organized in Argentina. And we met last week the event manager, which is a 23-year-old archer. And we work with the event team together with him. Good, so any questions on 24, 28 of Buenos Aires? Doesn't seem to be the case. Then matters related to the World Outdoor Championships in Mexico City. So as all of you know, it has been a little bit challenging with the earthquake to make sure things were going to happen as planned. We have some challenges and we're working on them. Chris March is here as well, and if there's questions, he might be able to address them. But our biggest challenges are the consequences of the earthquake, meaning the venues are there, they exist, they're safe, but the earthquake has caused some challenges. When I talk about challenges, is first of all, like Horacio also said this morning, some events had to be moved. And on Zocalo, on Saturday and Sunday, we will have archery, but it will also be the end of the book fair. So we will have to share with the book fair the Zocalo place. Actually, this is good for two reasons. We will have more visitors, more public, and we also will have probably a better TV background because we will be a little bit to the side, so you will be able to see more on television some of the historic buildings as such. The negative side of that is that it might be challenging to get on site because they're expecting thousands and thousands of people to go there. The other sad thing is that we had to reduce the seating capacity by 500, as far as we've been informed. However, it will still take place at Zocalo and it will give fantastic images as such. The other challenge we have is that the Campo Marte, where the qualification round will take place and the eliminations, is a field of 240 meters wide. Now, we always plan to use the full 240 meters. The military owners of the property have said that since the earthquake, they need to guarantee an access for helicopters on the field. Those helicopters should not be going there every day, but they need to have an access there, which means we lost 30 meters. So 30 meters, that's a lot of targets. It has no impact on the competition. We have enough competition targets, but it has an impact on availability of practice. We're still looking at solutions with the organizing committee and seeing what can be done. We, for instance, will be able to provide a lot of targets at 5 meters in an area next to the competition field, but we already inform the ones that are involved directly with teams that practice will not be as easy as usual at World Championships. This is something that could not be foreseen up until 2 days ago when we were informed on this. And yesterday, for instance, 2 helicopters actually did land on the field. And of course, if helicopters will have to land during the competition will have to be halted for some minutes, because I don't think I have to explain that a helicopter landing or taking away while people are shooting might have very strange effects on the flight of an arrow. So these are some of the challenges our event department is facing. If there are any other questions or remarks on the championships, you might raise them now. Of course, there will be the team managers meeting that will take place tomorrow. So if it's really technical things, I think we can leave them to tomorrow. But I already wanted to inform the people involved with the teams, that practice will be challenging. We're trying to find a solution, but it will be limited. And this is something that I also give as message to the future. Because of the size of our events, practice is going to be one of the biggest challenges for the future. Bruce, who gave the presentation on the World Indoor Championships, his biggest challenge in Vegas with 4,000 archers is not so much the competition, it's practice. And this is going to be the main thing for the future in our events as well. How can we guarantee good competition facilities, good practice facilities, but to what extent do we need to provide practice at all times? Okay, any questions? No, that means that you've all deserved another coffee break.
15 minutes, my friends.
Federations that were already a little bit too quick and put envelopes in a box that is not yet. Keep the envelopes for the moment. You're too dynamic. So if we can have everyone taking a seat, so we can start the last session of the 52nd Congress. So don't do anything with the envelope yet, nothing with the envelope yet. Keep them with you for the moment. Thank you.
I will take the floor here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the more pleasant part of the Congress when we talk about awards. So the first one, as you know, World Archery very much is a sport with gender equity. We have the same number of athletes competing at the Olympic Games in men and women. We also in Rio achieved for the first time to have a complete balance in gender for our judges. This is something we want to expand to all our events, and we want to work as much as we can to have a better gender balance in this room as well. So, since I think 4 congresses, we have what is called the Women in Sports Awards, and I ask Evelyn Papadopoulou to come to the lectern to present the awards for this Congress. Evelyn.
Thank you, Tom. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Gender Equity Committee, in each World Archery Congress, Gender Equity Award is awarded to women for their outstanding contribution and remarkable services to archery. The 2017 Women in Archery Family Award will be given to Mrs. Park Yong-suk from Korea. We are proud to present you a woman with outstanding achievements and remarkable services in archery as an athlete, a coach, and a judge that became a role model for many women in archery family. The Olympian medalist Mrs. Park Yong-suk, also known as Sally, was a member of Korea's first ever women's team sent to compete in its first Worlds in Berlin in 1979. Her first participation in Olympic Games with the Korean team was at the Los Angeles 1984 Olympic Games. In 1988, Sally was a member in the Korea's women's team, winning the first team ever at the Olympics, and they've never lost ever. Today, her sport career continues with coaching and judging, serving archery in many major events. Sally was coach for the Italian recurve women's team that won gold in the Worlds in Turin in 2011. She has also worked with the Korean youth squad in the Singapore team. Lately, she was coaching in Africa, where she coached Areneo David, to become Malawi's first archery Olympian at Rio 2016. Simultaneously with coaching, Sally is also serving archery as judge. Recently, she was serving as international judge at the fourth and last stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in 2017 in Berlin. Ms. Park Hyung-suk was not able to be with us today, and we ask Ms. Ling Eung-yong from Korea to receive Sally's award on her behalf. We also ask Mr. President of World Archery Europe to hand out, World Archery Federation to hand out the award to Ms. Park Hyung-suk. The Member Associations and Female Athletes Award is given to member associations with the biggest number of female athletes participation in the World Cup stages, in addition of the 2 years prior every World Archery Congress. 2017 Member Association and Female Athletes Award is be given for the participation to the World Cup stages of 2015 and 2016. Third place, the Association of Colombia, with 45 female athletes. Please, the Member Association of Colombia. Second place, the hosting nation, Mexico, with 47 female participants. For the first place award, we have 2 member associations with full and equal participation with 64 female athletes. First place, India and United States of America. Please welcome the associations of India, United States of America.
And unfortunately, India is not present. So can we have someone representing World Archery Asia? So perhaps Sangwan, if you can take it on behalf of the Indian Federation, because unfortunately India is not present. So if you can take it as first Vice President of World Archery Asia, thank you.
Congratulations to all of you. Thank you, Mr. President. We would like to remind you that you are all invited and welcome to attend the Gender Equity Cocktail Reception that will take place at the Toy Garden Lounge at 7. Thank you all.
Thank you, Evelyn, and also thank you and the entire Gender Equity Committee, as well as Caroline, who is the staff member liaising with the committee to do all the efforts as such. We also, of course, the entire governance questionnaire helped a lot to establish a real situation across our members on all kinds of things related to it. Okay. We now have, I will announce the winners of the World Cup Nations Award. The actual awards will be presented on Saturday in Zocalao because we had a small issue with the trophies. And so they will be presented to the team manager of the countries concerned. But I will announce the winners of 2015, 16, and 17. And, well, of course, if you send a lot of teams, typically you will also have a good chance to be high on this ranking. And so some of the countries that have invested a lot in gender equity teams will be nominated again. So in 2015, and we can applaud them, of course, for it. On the third place, we had Colombia with 304 points. Congratulations. On the second place with 748 points was Korea. And first place, and like I said, it's very much linked to sending full teams, USA 770 points. In 2016, on the third place, India with 299 points. USA second with 449 points, and Korea first with 513 points. And in 2017, and I suppose they were very close to making the podium also in the Gender Equity Award, third place was Denmark with 454 points. Second, USA with 580 points. And first, Korea with 752 points. Okay, then I have any other permissible business before we go into the presentation on the conclusions of the workshops. So I have one very important remark to make, is that we all like very much that you use our World Archery logo, but unfortunately we've also seen a lot of bad uses of that logo, especially in terms of respecting how it's used graphically. So we have guidelines that exist that are available on our website, and we ask really that if you want to use the World Archery logo or the World Archery logo with the name of your country, that you contact the World Archery Office, and especially Chris Wells and Thomas Aubert, who are ready to guide you as such, but we have to become more strict on the usage of the logo, and especially we will ask misuses of the logo to be removed from any publication or other application. So please, we think the logo is there. We are more than happy that you use it, but if you use it correctly. So please help us with that. And so our staff is more than ready to assist you with that. If you have a project in that area, especially if you use it for the name of your federation, Continental Federation, please contact us so we make sure that you have the right graphical use of it. Thank you very much. Okay, so I move now to the lectern for the conclusions of the workshops. So, welcome back after all the various workshops. I hope you had very interesting talks, and I try to visit all of the workshops in the 4 rotations. I am also saw there was very interesting discussions. We had, I would say, 2 types of workshops. We had the communication and the data workshop, which was more a question of giving certain information, whereas the other 2 were more interactive. So I would like to ask the different presenters to come up behind me. So Lars, Uli, Siret, Chris, Pascal, you can all come behind me. So in the well, first of all, get all of them here. I would like you to all give a big round of applause to thank all of the presenters of the workshops for the work they've done. I'm sure that some of the topics will be continued to be discussed because they're very interesting topics. And I hope you discuss it within your own federation and with colleagues from other countries. I would say that I've heard many things about conflict of interest and how to avoid it, about transparency and what should be published or maybe should not be published. I attended a very interesting discussion on voting. And for instance, should we put on the board who votes for whom? It was a very interesting discussion, and the conclusion was that it needs to be further discussed. We also saw a lot of discussions on strategy and how to measure better. In the data workshop, I think many realized that there is a lot of information that you were not aware of, and that now hopefully you can use that information when you go and work with sponsors. However, I think it was our friend from Germany that mentioned that, okay, it's a question of investment and to see what you can do. An investment can be just a question of goodwill. It doesn't need to mean cost. And in the one on communication, we had a lot of young, dynamic presentations, and we had a good interaction as well, and I think that all of this will be implemented soon. But while it is good to discuss and exchange ideas, we also need actions over the coming years. Why? Because we want to move our sport forward. I hope you all recognize this model, which tells us if we want to move our sport forward, it is not enough to just improve. You must improve more than your competitors. You must make a breakthrough, you must make a jump. So, my question to you is, what are you planning to do in these 4 areas to make such jump over the coming year? This we would ask you to think about and actually write it down now. And that's why you have that paper in front of you. Now, probably some of you already did it, but we distributed a sheet in an envelope to all of you. We ask you to write on that sheet the one most important thing you plan to do in each area over the coming 2 years, just the most important thing. This is your sheet, so you should write it in your own language. And we will then ask you to put that sheet in the envelope. Then when you're finished, we will ask you to come up here and leave it in the box that is in the middle of the room. Now, before you come up, you have to remember what you wrote. So the best is to use your tablets and take a picture of it so you remember what you put on it. Because the plan is to seal the box. And at the Congress in Holland, in the Netherlands, in 2019, we will open it. And you get your envelope back. and you can announce us what you did. Now, we're talking all about social media and communication. If you're really courageous, we ask you to put that photo on your website or tweet it to all your members. Commitment is good. Public commitment is even better. But it's your free choice. So, we will give you now up to 10 minutes to fill in the paper, make a decision what you want to commit to in the next 2 years. So, start writing. No, not yet. Don't put it in the box yet. I will give instructions. Don't make it too quick. We know there was two that were too dynamic. Stay where you are for the moment. Thomas, can you also distribute a chain piece to the board? The ones that have finished writing, you also should have received carabiner. It's still in the plastic. Take it out because you will need it in a few moments. Okay, and now I ask Pascal if you can come forward to help with box. So I ask the president to come forward to the box. As soon as the president is there, the rest of the board can follow him and go to see Pascal. All of you follow, yes? And help Pascal to... All of us, yes? All of you? All of... No. Okay, and you follow, all of you. The moment you've done it, you can go back to your place. Yes? All the board. On the two sides, the moment you've done it, you can go back to your seat. And I think you got the message. So, we ask you to come forward as soon as you have finished. not all rush one after the other. Bring the chain with you, with the envelope. You put the envelope in the box and you make the chain. So, President and the other board members, you can go back up to the table. Please do it on both sides.
No, no.
If you can keep it until the next one is there, keep it up and
Pascal, please show. No?
you can go from both sides, because the idea is that we have a chain on both sides. Don't worry, we're not going to open the box before the Netherlands, so you have 2 years to think about it. Okay, I'm not going to do a roll call. Are there still people that are working on what they have to write down? Has everyone come? Still some? Okay. Oh. Still few people are working on it. That's good. The vote by Germany, 10 points. 12 points. Okay, are there any left? Ask, can you give me an indication? Difficult to see from here. One more compound. On the right side of the left side for you, Argentina row. Anyone still roll okay? Okay. The row of Australia, all okay? Row of Austria, all okay? Row of Bahamas, all okay? Barbados, all okay? Belgium, okay? Bhutan, all okay? Ah, we still have one person from Egypt, no? Yes, Egypt is still working on it. And they're in the back as well, okay?
Thank you. No, thank you.
More, yes. Rain, Basil. Oh, I'm going to see tonight how many of you have tweeted or published on your website. It will definitely increase your social media ranking for the next Congress. Towards the end, yes. To end. I think Egypt still working, yes. As soon as Egypt has come forward. If all of the staff can come forward, except the ones that are working still in the show production, the rest of the staff, if they all can come forward as soon as Egypt has finished. Well, since we said it was in your own language, we might discover in 2 years that it was in ancient hieroglyphs. Okay, we wait for Egypt. It's nearly, the photo is being taken. Tom? He can explain to his president later on all the things he's written on it. Okay, and now I ask all the staff to do exactly the same. So, because you've heard several times this weekend, as a sport we are only as strong as each link. So now we're going to connect all links of this chain together and to carry the plans for all of you. So we lift the chain, and this is showing the unity of our sport. So at the same time, we thank all our staff for the work they have done over the last 2 days. Thank you very much. Okay, you can put it back down. Thank you very much, and now I give the floor to our President for closing the Congress.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thanks, our staff. My dear friends, I believe we had a really very fruitful Congress for our great sport here in nice city, Mexico. As a World Archery President, I am really very happy and very proud that we had a very good family and very good harmonization inside. This is one of our essential part. And I would like to thank you very much for your attendance at the 52nd Congress and your very valuable contributions during the Congress and also during our group discussions. I congratulate all newly elected executive board and committee members, our friends. And I wish you very pleasant flights home. Of course, we will see some of you during the World Championships in the coming days. And now I declare our 52nd Congress closed. Thank you very much again.
Some final housekeeping matters. Now, if you wish to recuperate one of the chains, links, you're free to do so. It gives you a reminder of your commitment to making a strong link all together. And I need to have our executive board stay a little bit longer for a very short executive board meeting. Thank you very much. And at 7 o'clock, don't forget the gender equity reception in the Toy Garden, which you can reach through the Chinese restaurant. So going down to the right and through the Chinese restaurant, you will find the Toy Garden Lounge, where there will be a cocktail at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much.